Welcome to UAE Social Studies. Hopefully you guys remember what we were doing in UAE Social Studies all the way back before online learning started, which is all the way back into March, long time ago. So we are going to be restarting our UAE Social Studies work, and what we are going to be learning about today is early explorers. So before online learning started, we were talking about early writing systems and early civilizations and settlements and things like that. So now we are going to be talking about how these early civilizations explored the world. So your job today is that I'm going to quickly, very briefly, introduce you to these 5 guys here in the pictures. I'm going to really try and say their names correctly, but we know that Ms. K struggles with that, so I'm sorry in advance. Your job is going to be to choose one of them to research, and you are going to complete a mini project that looks at their life and their adventures. So up first we have Marco Polo, and he was born in Italy in 1252, and he died in Italy on January 8, 1324. And he is actually known for being a European traveler to China and the Far East, and he actually traveled along the Silk Road, which is a very famous travel and trade route. If you choose to do Marco Polo, I found some websites and some videos to help you with your learning. So if you think, yeah, you know what, Marco Polo is pretty cool. I mean, he had a game named after him that you play in the swimming pool. So obviously I really want to know more about him. And you can actually click on these links in the PDF that I'll send through to you, and you can research more about him. Okay? So after every single explorer, I've done this. So if you haven't quite decided yet, keep watching and learning, and maybe by the end of it, you will have chosen your person. So up next, we have Ibn Battuta, okay, and he was born in Morocco on February 25th, 1304, and he actually died in Morocco in 1369. And he is best known for being one of the greatest travelers in history. So he's a pretty big deal. There's a mall named after him in Dubai, I believe. So he is a pretty big deal. So again, if you think I want to learn more about him and research him for my project, there's some websites to help you and some videos as well. Then we have Ahmed ibn Majid. Again, I'm so sorry with names. I'm so bad. He was born sometime in 1421, actually in the UAE, in where we call Ras Al Khaimah, although it wasn't called that back then. And he died sometime in 1500. We're not really sure of the exact dates of his birth or death. He was known for being the navigator of Da Gama's discovery of the route to India, so he helped find the best way to get to India. And he's actually called the Lion of the Sea. So he has a really cool name, so he might be someone who's cool to research because of his really cool names. Like literally, he's like the Lion of the Sea. There's another name that they give him. He has all these cool like sea names. So if you want to know more about him and research him for your project, please click on those links and watch those videos. Then we have Zheng He, and he was born in China in 1371, and he died in 1433. And he is best known for treasure ship voyages to India. So think about it. I would like to be on a treasure ship. That would be super cool. So he could be a really good person to study, especially if you are into treasure and treasure ships. So if you want to know more, you can click on the links. There is loads of information about him. So much. So he could be an excellent person to study. There's some videos and websites there for you if you choose him. And then last but not least, we have Christopher Columbus. And Christopher Columbus was born in 1451 in Italy, and he died May 20th, 1506. And he is best known for discovering my home and native land, which is America. So he found the way to get to America. I know that seems really simple now that we have airplanes, but think about it. They didn't have airplanes in 1451 or 1506, and people thought that if you went on a boat too far, then you would just fall off the world. So that is, he actually discovered that that wasn't true, and that if you went far enough, you could discover America. So he is a pretty big deal. There is absolutely loads of information. This is only some of what I found for you guys. Literally anything you wanted to know about Christopher Columbus, you can probably find it on the internet. You could probably find out what he ate for breakfast every day, his favorite dinner, I don't know, maybe his favorite pizza. I'm sure it's on the internet. There is loads of information. There's videos. There's even a movie. There's a cartoon movie about his life, which is the very last YouTube link. It's like an hour long. So if you want to study Christopher Columbus, go for it. It should be pretty easy, but not as interesting as some of these other guys. He also has an animated cartoon series about his life and his adventures. So yeah, there's loads. So those are the 5 guys that you can research about. Okay, so what do you need to do for your project? Basically, you need to have a timeline of your explorer's life and important events, which is just like the timeline you made for yours, only you won't need as many details. So you need to have 10 events on your timeline. So when they were born, when they died, where did they travel to, and when, okay, and any other important events in their life. So maybe they wrote a book, maybe they got married, they had kids, maybe they went to school, maybe they went to university, maybe they got robbed by pirates, maybe they were involved in a huge like battleship situation, I don't know. It could be anything. Maybe they ran into Moana, who knows, okay? So anything that's important, as long as you have 10 events on your timeline, that's all you need. This is an example of a timeline that is good, okay? There's not the amount of events that you need, but just for an example, you literally just need to have the year, preferably the whole date, okay, if you know it, but the year and then what happened. That's all you need to do for your timeline. I would prefer it if you did it by hand, but I also am happy if you put it in a PowerPoint. That's fine too. So it's up to you. You can either do it by hand or in a PowerPoint, or if you can figure out how to do it on a computer, some technological way, that's fine. You cannot just find a timeline of their life online and copy and paste it. That is called copywriting, and that is not allowed, okay? So you need to put it together. You need to find 10 events. This is your project. You can't just steal one off the internet, okay? Next, you need a map showing the countries they have traveled through and to. So this is an example of a map. So this is about Marco Polo. Again, okay, even though I've borrowed one from the internet, you cannot submit something like this. You need to find a map of the world. So you can get one off the internet super easily. And then I want you to draw in. You can draw it on the computer, okay? Or you can print it off and draw it by hand. That's up to you. So, but you need to not steal things. You can't just be like, oh, here's a map example like what I did. You need to actually draw it out on the map, okay? It doesn't have to be as detailed as this one from Marco Polo. Marco Polo went a lot of places, but you should have all of the places that they traveled to and through. Finally, you need to present it to me in a video or a PowerPoint or a biography, and you basically just need to share your learning. So if you have your timeline and your map and you just want to tell me about it in a video, that's fine. If you want to do a cool movie, sure, go ahead. If you just want to write about it and send it to me, that's fine. But please try to present it in an interesting way, just like you did for your India famous person projects, okay? If you're just submitting the timeline and the map, you won't get points on your presentation. This is just like we would do in class, where you need to share your knowledge with everyone, okay? So it's just the simplest task would probably be just to make a video and share your timeline and map with us, okay? Now, This is due on the 21st of May, so you have a couple weeks to get this done. Hopefully that's enough time. You can work on it a little bit each day. Remember, please do your very best work. I'm going to put an activity for the timeline and an activity for your map up and your final presentation for UAE Social Studies. So those are the things that you will need to submit to me by the 21st of May. So please take your time, do your best work. Remember, you only have to research one of our 5 famous people, just one, okay? And then just find out different information about them. Use the links that I have in the videos to help you. And I look forward to seeing who you have researched. And I look forward to seeing your timelines and your map. Good luck and have fun.